I'm going to talk about sharpening in this video. And sharpening is something that we use as a final step in our process to really bring out details in the workflow. We have a couple of tools for that and built in Infinite Retouch. If you're not familiar with the plugin, please go to Infinite-Retouch, or I should say infinite-tools.com, and you will see Infinite Retouch there on our website. Okay, once you've installed it, you want to go to Tools, you want to go to Post Tools, where you will see Sharpening and Smart Sharpen. Let's talk about both of them. Firstly, Sharpen itself is an algorithm that we have that is really special for us and special for you too, I bet, where you simply need to enter your viewing distance and it calculates with a perfect algorithm over the sharpening amount that we think should be. So let's say that we have a viewing distance of around 50 inches away from the screen that I'm looking at the photo, and then I say apply. What's going to happen automatically is it's going to have an Unsharp Mask, and it's going to create a layer for you based on the dimensions of your image and based on the viewing distance that it assumes you will be looking at the photograph at the print size that you have based on resolution and PPI, etc. And so what happens here is that we have a layer as a smart object, and when I zoom in here, I turn it on and off, you can see it sharpen up the details to the precise amount that you've entered. If you like that and you want to save it, I'm going to come back here under Sharpen, and I'm going to save this as a preset. I'm going to say 50 or screen, whatever you want to call it, and just say save. And then here in the preset name, it has the specific preset. So you don't have to enter it every single time that you go into it, which is very, very handy, I think, and used in other places as well that your presets are stored. So now that that is done, I'm going to say close. And again, you can only access these layers and click on them when you exit this screen over here. So when I click on close or apply, now I can actually click on these individual layers here. Very, very important to note. Aside from that, we have Smart Sharpen as well. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this for a second. I don't need this. Click on Smart Sharpen. And when I have this here and I say, the amount that I'm looking for, this is a very visual response. So you'd use Smart Sharpen like you'd usually use it. You'd have the amount for the intensity. The radius kind of, determines how much sharpening is happening across the individual pixel radius. So typically for me, 2.0 is pretty good. And I just adjust accordingly. And I say, okay. And if I click on it again, what happens is it creates a second one. And so you can just keep building if you want to. However, if you want to modify this first one, you can actually click on Smart Sharpen and then adjust the parameters as you so choose. So just let me make a large example so you can visibly see it and then edit it that way. So not that you would ever need to go that far, but just as a visual example of what happens when you modify those parameters live. So there you go. Now you have Smart Sharpen and Sharpen, and you can save that accordingly. Last but not least, if I right click on Smart Sharpen, it says use existing smart object. So for example, if I click on Smart Sharpen now, obviously it will create the smart object that was there to begin with. And if I click on it again, it will update just the Smart Sharpen area here. So you don't have to, if you don't want to, go into their own respective variables over here. You have them both on top and updating the same smart object. Okay, so it allows you to do that. That's pretty much all it is. I personally prefer just not keeping that on and making a separate layer. Again, personal preference. The same option can be set for sharpening. Okay, aside from that, that's it. If you would like to see how this panel is used in other ways and see the entire workflow, please check out our website again, and you can see all the other videos as well as seeing your manual once you download this and getting an idea of how all this can be used in your own workflow. I can't wait to see what you do, and I hope these sharpening tools definitely help you in your sharpening part of your workflow.